In this section, we're going to practice multiplying and dividing by polynomials, and I just entitled it Cancel Crazy, as Mrs. Kenton and I used to call it. So if you take a look at some of the parts in this first example here, they can be factored some more. So we're going to take a look at each of the pieces and see if we can factor them. Notice that this one is a difference of squares, and that might be it. Although if I want to make this guy into a fraction, I can put it over 1. Something else that I noticed as I'm kind of glancing across this problem is that we have a division symbol here, whereas the rest of them are multiplication. So remember, when you're multiplying, you can just leave the problems as is, but division is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. So whenever I see a division symbol, I want to change that to multiplication right away and flip the very next piece. That doesn't mean I have to flip everything else though. I'm going to leave this in its factored form and bring it down. Bring this guy down. Keep him. And again, I want him over 1, so we can kind of think of it as one big long line here. That way anything in the numerator that matches exactly with anything in the denominator can be canceled out. So I can cancel this guy with this guy, but I cannot cancel these guys because they're next to each other. It's not one on the top and one on the bottom like these guys would be. I use a different notation just so you can kind of see what I'm canceling out. So you might want to cancel the x minus 9 and the x minus 9, but really resist that since both of them are in the numerator. One could even write that as x minus 9 squared. So let's do one more example of division where we practice multiplying by the reciprocal. Again, I see some things that should be factored first. Over here I see a GCF, so I'm going to pull out the 4x first. So we're replacing this with that. And over here, already factored, but I see a difference of squares down here. So we're replacing that with this. I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal, so notice that I'm going to flip these guys around. And I'm bringing this guy down as well, so I don't lose anything. Anything in the numerator can cancel with anything in the denominator if it's matching. So remember, you can't just do like an x and an x. And you can't do this x and this x because it's attached. So there's like imaginary parentheses around here. So that allows me to cancel here as well. And so if I wanted to reduce, I can kind of gather this together. So far what's left in the numerator is this. In the denominator, I'm left with 16x, but always watch out for the coefficients in front, if you will, or the monomial or factor in front. Since this can be reduced further, we want to do that. 4 goes into 16 4 times, and the x's cancel each other out. Again, the reason why I can do that is because it's next to a multiplication symbol, even if it's invisible. But I could not cancel these x's because this is part of a group. So all of this cancels except for that 4 in the denominator. Keep it in the denominator. Up on top I have x minus 4. And again, don't cancel those 4's because it's grouped together with a minus sign. Good luck on this section.